Nintendo wowed their fans with the most recent Super Smash Bros. Ultimate Direct, revealing new characters, modes, bosses, and much, much more. With all of these fantastic surprises, it's hard to imagine what else is left to add. It's tough to predict what Sakurai has left in store, but I've compiled a brief list of 5 series that have yet to be represented in Smash Bros. But before we dive in, I want to take a moment to give some honorable mentions to some assist trophies that have yet to appear in Smash Ultimate, but have appeared in previous installments. While many people are speculating that Shadow is going to be included as an Echo Fighter over Sonic, Smash Ultimate is also missing a plethora of other assist trophies that have not been seen since Brawl. These include Advance Wars, Isaac from Golden Sun, Ray Mark II from Custom Robo, and the Excite Bike Racers, just to name a few. While I think it is a possibility that these characters could return as assist trophies, or even as playable fighters, I won't be diving into them any further today, as I would like to focus on adding new franchises to Smash Bros. I've chosen franchises that I believe have a large audience and are relatively recognizable by most gamers across all platforms, while still remaining within the realm of possibility. With that out of the way, let's look at 5 series that deserve some sort of representation in Smash Ultimate. First, let's discuss the big kid on the block, Minecraft. You may have noticed that Nintendo and Microsoft were being pretty cutesy on Twitter about the launch of Minecraft on the Nintendo Switch. It's clear they are willing to work together on projects. While I don't necessarily think that we're going to see Minecraft Steve running around Battlefield as a playable character, I do think that an IP as significant as Minecraft could appear in Smash. I see 2 major options. The first being a stage with randomly created layouts and features similar to the Mario Maker stage in Smash Wii U, or we could see it as an assist trophy. As for the trophy, well, I think a creeper would be a pretty safe bet. Simply put, it would jump around the stage and just blow up when it got close to an enemy. Steve could also work, running around the stage wildly slinging his pickaxe at your foes, causing decent damage and providing a little bit of knockback until his weapon broke. At that point, he would disappear from combat. Only time will tell if Sakurai sees Minecraft the same way as Nintendo does, but I would enjoy any of these additions from the Minecraft series. Previously, I would have thought that this next entry would have been a bit of a stretch, but with Bayonetta in the game, I don't think ESRB ratings matter anymore. Capcom has several long-running franchises, and Resident Evil is one of their strong. To be honest, I'm kinda surprised this hasn't happened yet. We've got Mega Man, Ryu, and recently they announced the Monster Hunter stage and boss assist trophy Rathalos is going to be in the game, so it's safe to say Sakurai and Capcom are getting along pretty well. First and foremost, a stage in the streets of Raccoon City would be amazing. Zombies can be seen at the back of the stage and slowly work their way towards the screen, attacking players once they move within range. During time matches, the number of zombies would increase drastically when the match is almost over. Of course, you could always turn off the hazards, but this stage would be a great nod to the series. As for characters, Leon, Jill, Claire, and Chris would all make great additions to the playable roster or as assist trophies. They could base a large portion of their moveset around moves featured in their own games, as well as from their appearances in the Marvel vs. Capcom series. They would be a mid-range fighter using their weapons and tools from throughout the series. Pretty straightforward stuff, lots of room for flexibility as fighters or assist trophies. Wesker or Nemesis would both be great candidates for bosses in whatever the single-player mode ends up being. If not, I could definitely see them being very powerful assist trophies. Nintendo has done a great job following through on their promises from the initial Switch reveal back in 2016, but one of the few games we haven't really heard anything about is Shin Megami Tensei. But Nintendo and Atlus have also worked together on the Persona series on the 3DS. In fact, Persona Q2 was just announced to be coming to the 3DS next year. So with this entry, I'm looking at Persona or the Shin Megami Tensei series. They both have a wide cast of characters to choose from, but if we go with some of the more recent releases, then I think using a character from Persona 5, Joker, is a pretty safe bet. The major thing holding back the series from a playable character is that it hasn't really appeared on many Nintendo platforms, so it's not as recognizable as some of the other characters we've already seen in Smash. As such, I think an assist trophy makes a great entry point for the series. Jack Frost is a character who appears as an ally in both series, and he could run around attacking enemies and using ice magic to freeze them in place, giving players the opportunity to rack up a ton of damage. Fingers crossed for you RPG fans out there, but I think this next entry has a slightly higher chance. Dragon Quest. One of, if not the longest running JRPG franchise. Starting way back in the 80s on the NES, the Dragon Quest franchise has appeared dozens of times on Nintendo hardware. From core installments to spin-off titles, including the subscription-based MMO on the Wii. If there was a playable Dragon Quest character, they would likely feature one, if not all of the major player characters from throughout the series. The only hitch, of course, being that these characters don't typically have names. I feel that being a nameless protagonist makes them slightly less memorable and less iconic, and really hurts their effectiveness as a playable character. That being said, there are no shortage of locales and boss-type characters to choose from. A dragon would be the obvious choice, but how could we not consider the series' mascot? The Slime. This little guy would make a pretty decent assist trophy, but I would like to see him evolve and call in support the longer he stays on screen, eventually turning into a slime stack, and finally, the powerful King Slime. At that point, the damage and knockback of the slime would be comparable to a smash attack, making him a huge threat to characters on screen. The same concept could be applied as a stage hazard, whether it be in a castle, dungeon, or even one of the series' giant sprawling meadows. Players may even be lucky enough to spot a metal slime running around the stage, granting a powerful item or power-up. That is, of course, assuming you can damage these critters. Before we get to the last entry on the list, I wanted to toss another honorable mention to Valkyria Chronicles. While the first few installments all appeared on Sony consoles, the fourth installment is coming to Switch this fall. Having a tank commander as an assist trophy, dealing damage similar to how Fox, Falco's, and Wolf's Final Smashes used to work, seems to make a lot of sense. It's another one of those series that has a slightly smaller audience, but is beloved by its fans. I personally would love to see it included, but I definitely understand its absence. When it was announced that Namco was working on Smash for Wii U and 3DS, many fans speculated that Namco would see some sort of representation. Sure enough, Pac-Man was revealed behind closed doors just a few months later. Others speculated that the Tales of series or an anime representative would be selected, but I had a different idea. Soul Calibur is a unique, weapon-based fighter with a large cast of characters, including many guest characters from comic books, films, and of course, video games. Soul Calibur 2 included Link from The Legend of Zelda as a playable character on the GameCube, and I think it's about time Nintendo returned the favor. Moving a character from Soul Calibur over to Smash would actually be pretty easy, as they already have a variety of combos and special moves to choose from. The most obvious character to choose would be Nightmare. If you know anything about the Soul Calibur series, then I'm sure you know that Siegfried would be an obvious Echo character or alternate costume for Nightmare. The character would definitely be heavy and have slower attacks, but they would be able to link combos fairly well due to the nature of the source material. A Soul Calibur stage featuring the game's two iconic weapons plunged into the ground would be a great nod to the series. Characters like Zosalamel, Inferno, and Algol would be great bosses or assist trophies. Most of the bosses that the Smash series has included thus far have been significantly larger than the player character, so having a more humanoid-sized character would be a nice change of pace. That being said, Nightmare would be a phenomenal boss fight, especially if they increased his size. What are your thoughts on these series? Do you see these in Smash? What are some other series you would like to see in Smash? Be sure to let me know in the comments, and subscribe if you like speculation and theory crafting about the gaming industry. Thanks for tuning in, and I look forward to hearing from you all soon.